Hello everyone, welcome back to my Jaybird. It's been a little while, but this is my last game that I played here. It's game 2, Knightsbird, Knight 72 Jaybird. This is game 2 against 2200 program, which I already have one you've seen, and I've been playing it lately, but let's get down to it. This is 70 moves. H3, C6, A3, D5, D3, E5, E3, F6, E2, D6, and there's your Knightsbird. And if this bishop would be up here instead of the knight, it'd be the Jaybird. Just in case I've mentioned this before. After D2, he castles. C1. Now I move things around. The knight, A5, E2 now goes into the Jaybird, and that's your Knight 72. Alright, continue on. A4, I castle, C5, and his opening's all typical, looks like a typical opening here. And like I said, this can go up to about 2600 in an ELL, this opening. Back to the Knightbird. After C5, C3, F5, D4, D6, D3, after D3, E4, B4, takes B4, takes B4, G5, H1, I got unpinned, H4, E1, D4, looks like he takes D4, D6, F3, E7, G3, E8, D3, looks like D3 takes D3, E2, takes E2, takes E2, D6, it looks like takes, D6 takes, B3, B5, looks like A4 takes A4, after A4, A3, E3, C1, this one goes down to the wire, after C1, B8, A2, G6, G1, E8, B5, A3. After A3, it looks like D6 takes, E1 check, takes E1, takes E1, king up, F2, E6, B7, E7, C5, A7, G4, H5, looks like takes H5, takes H5, G3, F5, F4, E7, E5, F7, B5, A8, B6, B8, B7, D8, A3, C6, it looks like take F5, G8, A8, B8, A6, takes A6, takes A6, B8, B6, E7. After E7, looks like G5, D7, looks like takes H5, C7, B4, takes B7, takes B7, takes B7, G6, C6, H4, B5, F4. Now it's a foot race. After F4, C4, F5, C3 takes, F6, and here's where it says it resigns. But we play it out. D4 takes, H5, C3, F7, D4, Queen, F8, D3, C5, B3, C1, B4, H6, D2, D2 takes, C4, H7, C5, another queen comes in, H8, C6, C8, B6, B4, A7, and that looks like game right there. Okay, let's quick go back over this. The opening's the same as you've seen before, and I was just down here today again, and the other day, and played this opening, and it just depends how I feel or how I want to play, and let's just see how this went. I'm in white, and I know you've seen this. And knight, there's your night bird. Sometimes I just go right to the bishop, but right now at this setting, from here on, can go up to 2700 rating ELO. Just depends how the game's played. I don't think it goes past 2800. I don't think I do have one game, but that's with the Pawn's Revenge going this way and the castle's the other way. That's a different game. All right, so when the game goes on, there's your J bird, your knight 72, and then I castle, and I strike up the middle first, and this is really cool. I mean, I get this online too. Unpin, and the game continues on here, and really it comes right down to the end. Every piece was, you know, timed right, and like I said, there was I didn't have to do a second game. This is one game and done, kind of like the last one I was telling you about. This one here was once and done. And the game goes on. I was in the moment, and everything falls on the place here. It's really cool. And the game goes on, and still, even at this moment, you don't know how it's still going to go. It looks pretty even here. And then you keep threatening. He has to come back. And now, at this point, I can see that I've got him at this point. No doubt in my mind after this point. The game continues. And obviously, you trade your pieces down. And you play it through. And there it is. Okay, that's game 2 of Knight's Bird, Knight 72 J Bird. Okay, thanks for stopping by. The next games from here on out are Blitz games now. We're going back to our Blitz games again. You've seen the other videos, 7 moves, Bishop, Knight 22, QC1, C4, Pawn on the Run, and 8 move. The 8 move one too. So, but that's it for now. We're going back to the blindfold blitzes again. Thanks for stopping by.